Hello everyone, and this is Elisha, and today we're going to talk about communication breakdown. So, what is communication breakdown? Communication breakdown is a failure to exchange information between the source and the receiver. It occurs when a barrier intercepts a conversation between a group of people that are communicating to each other. So, what are the kinds of communication barriers that we're going to talk about? So these are the physical, psychological, cultural, and linguistic barriers. So we're going to talk about four of those today. Number one is physical barriers. These are the natural or environmental conditions that act as a barrier in communication in sending the message from the sender to the receiver. Example of these are when people talks too loud, noise from construction site, your neighbors singing something in karaoke, and vehicle horns. Number two, psychological barriers, or also known as mental barriers. This refers to social and personal issues of a speaker towards communicating with others. Example of these are trauma, shyness, lack of confidence, depression, fear, stage fright, and so on that has a connection towards your mental being. Third one is cultural barriers. It pertains to communication problems encountered by people regarding their intrinsic values, norms, beliefs, and traditions in conflict with others. People's culture affect the way they communicate and relate to others. So it's kinda usual for everyday people that they're sometimes they're going to encounter with a foreigner that is not native here in the Philippines, and for example they're going to ask for directions in English language, so you don't know how to communicate since you're overwhelmed that he's a foreigner, and it's kind of rare to see a foreigner asking for directions. The fourth one is linguistic barrier. This pertains conflicts with regard to language and word meanings. Because words carry denotative and connotative meanings, they can sometimes cause confusion and misunderstanding. So here are the examples of words like you're not native in that area and you're asking for directions. You don't know what they're talking about with their slangs. That's then an example of linguistic barrier. So here we have another example where, according to Verdeber, he classifies noise into three kinds: external, internal, and semantic noises. So what does Verdeber thinks about these noises? So when it comes to external noises, these are sights, sound, and other stimuli that draws people's attention away from the intended meaning. As an example of these are noises from vehicles, singing at the neighborhood, visual aids in front of the classroom, the dog barking, and everything that causes noise visually and in hearing. In internal noises, these are the thoughts and feelings that interfere with meaning. These are confrontation with a friend, fear of speaking in front of the class because you might make a mistake and make fun of it, and the racial prejudice. The last one is the semantic noises. According to the vertebrate, these are the alternate meaning aroused by a speaker's symbol. This idea means that the word may have another meaning in the minds of the students. This is affected by the language in which they grew and the culture which they are exposed to. Example of these are incorrect grammars, using excessive technical jargons, and idiomatic expressions. So that's all of it, barriers in communication, which shows the communication breakdown. I hope you learned something for today, and thank you for watching.